I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Critics are calling Lakeview Terrace intense and chilling.
Come on!
Samuel L. Jackson is brilliant.
You have a good night.
4 stars. It grips you and never lets go. Lakeview Terrace. Rated PG-13.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is a paid request for Charles Turner. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any other type of videos, reviews, re-reviews, requests of topics, reactions, reviews of something else, pretty much whatever, you send a request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Lakeview Terrace. It's a film I had seen a while ago, but I did not remember too much about it. I thought, okay, is that the film that's kind of like Unlawful Entry? And yes or no. Unlawful Entry, only to the point it's a cop terrorizing a couple, like Ray Liotta did to Kurt Russell and Madeline Stowe in Unlawful Entry. Here it's Sam Jackson terrorizing this group played by Patrick Wilson. I forget the girl's name, but I thought, number one, I liked the movie, by the way. I did like it, watch it again, because it was interesting to see a movie where Sam Jackson plays a cop, and a cop who is racist, really, against white people. That's not something you see a lot of in movies. Yeah, so it made it a bit different, and this is a guy that's definitely strict in his rules as well. Like his kids, one of them is wearing a Kobe Bryant shirt, because at the time there was that talk of did Kobe do something or not with a woman, and Sam's like, no, you're not wearing that jersey, we switched to Shaq, remember? No, you chose that. So again, Sam is very strict with his kids, and throughout the film you get this notion that he doesn't like white guys because back in the day, his wife was killed in a car accident, and thought that maybe she was fair with her white boss. And now that she sees Patrick Wilson, who would be in The Conjuring, among others, he was in Watchmen, a good actor, sees him with this black woman, that gets his fucking feathers ruffled and his ass hurt, his butt hurt is going on, so he starts picking at the neighbors. You know, when the couple's having fun in the pool, Sam's like, this is where I live, okay, don't do those bedroom scenes out there for all of us to see. Or he keeps saying, you should move on, maybe you're not right here. And Patrick Wilson finally stands up, back off. And Sam's like, or what? You keep saying we're not welcome here and we should move. Oh yeah, maybe you're the one with the problem. And so what would you do? What would you do with a guy who, number one, is a cop, and number two, is a black cop? They didn't pull too much of, of Sam Jackson using the fact that he's black to his, how do I put it, to his benefit, where, oh, maybe this guy doesn't like me because I'm black. Well, maybe he's dating a black woman. So maybe that's why they didn't go into those levels of the story. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Part of me is like, okay, maybe they could make a little bit more deeper in his social type of topics that maybe want to approach on that manner. Other part is like, well, maybe you go, how much political do you want to have in this film when its first instance, its first job is to be a thriller? And yeah, there is a hint of unlawful entry in this. Not so much where the cop is in love with the girl, which is what Ray Liotta was, but more of just this racism building up in Sam Jackson's character, very toxic, unhealthy obsession with it, that honestly if he just left things alone, everything would be fine and dandy, but it's like he can't help it, and he's like, you want to call the cops? Hell, I'll tell you who's on duty. Or because the neighbors put plants in, some of the leaves are going into Sam's property. He's getting a fucking chainsaw and cutting them. And even Patrick Wilson's lady friend is like, what the fuck, And Sam's like, you want to shut that bitch's mouth? And Patrick's like, you know what, she can say whatever she wants, asshole. And you just see this tension rising and building up more and more and more. I also like the fact that Patrick Wilson's lady, in a film like this, you can have it where 90% of the time she's absolutely clueless until the very end. I'm glad that they didn't do that. It just made it a bit different, where, yeah, there's still friction between Patrick Wilson and her because one wants to have a baby, one doesn't. There's friction with that. But at the same time, it's not 90% of, oh, what, are you raised? Like that portion of, what, the wife just turning on the guy, you're racist. They didn't do that because it'd be like, well, if you've been with Patrick Wilson this long, you should know whether he's like that or not. It would seem a bit false. That would seem like you're forcing some kind of political agenda into it, where the fact that the story would make less sense. Like, wait a minute, you've been with your husband this long? At least it doesn't take too long for her to notice things, as well as Patrick Wilson to notice that there's something going on with this guy. I mean, to a point where Sam Jackson's daughter is across the way having fun in the pool, and the lady's like, oh, hey, that's cool, that's fine. Hey, I did say when you come over, you gotta tell your dad. But then Sam Jackson comes over, oh, well, hey, you want to just have nothing on? How about just take off my clothes, huh? Whatever we do is alright, right? Holler, keep it gangster. I just getting so mad at the daughter and slapping her. I like that the lady stands up for it. Hey, you don't have to do that. You shouldn't do that. So I did like that aspect. She wasn't 100% pushover or 100% blind. Because again, you have those movies where the person's blind to what's going on until the very, very end of the movie. I'm glad I didn't do that route. And you get a little bit more of Sam Jackson's psyche, where he's like, you think you can take whatever you want? I was waiting for Patrick Wilson to stand up and say, what the fuck are we taking from you, pal? What are we taking from you? We got our house, you got your house. You have your kids, your whatever, your health, all that. What have we taken from you? There's even again, the movie. More I think about, there's a little bit more of unlawful entry, as I keep thinking about it. There's even a point where the cop, well, a cop kills a crook because he may know too much. And this point, Sam Jackson hired this guy to do and break into this neighbor's house to try to get him to leave, but then things screw up. Sorry I'm bumbling around this point in the review, but I'm trying to think, like, is there really anything that bad that I thought of it? Because the reason I liked it, I thought Sam Jackson did a good job performance-wise. Also, I thought Patrick Wilson did a good job. I think it was a different angle. You know, a racist black cop. It's different. Something you'll probably never see again with the climate. It just made the story a little bit unique and again different. I appreciated that. Since I see so many movies, it's nice to see something that's a little bit different compared to other films. I didn't think the film was boring, though I moved at a good pace. I didn't think there was anything too unrealistic. Like some people were, oh, this would never happen, and I don't see anything in the movie that's that completely unrealistic. At least, you know, watch it again. It probably has been since when this film came out on DVD. I think it was working at a video store at the time. So I rented it for free. I mean, it's okay. But yeah, I would say it's aged a bit better since then. Now, there's really nothing that I found that egregious or awful about it. Interesting choice that at the finale, it's amongst all these fires going on around all these other houses, so you have a bit of smoke and such going on around the area of this final confrontation. Part of me wonders if Sam Jackson's kids maybe should have been there, and maybe that would have created even more tension in the finale of the film, with like how is Sam Jackson going to explain himself in front of his kids, his behavior of doing this. Like maybe a bit more dramatic intensity could have been created by that type of situation. Yeah, I don't really have much issues with this film. Now, I thought for what the movie was trying to do, it did fairly well. There wasn't any time I felt intense with the sequences, or scared, or if that was the effect it was going for. I would say the finale and Unlawful Entry is a lot more satisfying, because you have this back and forth struggle with Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta, and much more of a physical. Here's a bit more of a, in a way, psyching the other guy out, so to speak. To spoilers, if you wonder what I'm talking about, super spoilers for the ending. The cops come, it's a showdown, and Patrick Wilson remembers what the hell Sam Jackson said before, so he eggs him on by asking about his wife. And you don't talk about my wife. And Patrick Wilson knows that's a sore subject for Sam, and brings him so pissed off to, I guess, get him off his A game. And even though he knows there's other cops there, rise in and shoot. There's a part of me that goes, would Sam Jackson's character be that stupid? But on the flip side, the film has showcased that that's the the origin of his poor hatred on this, and there's a bar scene, like I said, that he tells his backstory, what had happened. I think you tell that's a sore subject for him, so at least because it was set up and wasn't just out of the fucking blue, that was an end. I could deal with the ending. But yeah, part of me is like, it would have been nice to see. But you know what? Maybe if it did that, it would be even more like Unlawful Entry, and at least this is a different type of ending that's just not a carbon copy of Unlawful Entry's ending. I think between the two, Unlawful Entry, I felt a bit more intense with Ray Liotta's performance. I think that's another thing. Sam Jackson does a good job, but Ray Liotta played a much scarier character, and much more, he's really unhinged. Like, Sam Jackson's unhinged, but still got that Sam Jackson aura of, it's kind of fun to see him play this kind of role, while Ray Liotta felt more scary. I don't know if that makes sense, with how nice and how he could turn on, but being just intimidating. I think that's the thing with Sam Jackson. I think he does a good job. I wouldn't say I was ever intimidated by the character. Maybe because I've just seen so many other Sam Jackson movies where he's so angry, a lot of times play for laughs. There's these motherfucking stakes on this motherfucking plane. Or even The Hitman's Bodyguard or other stuff, so. But yeah, Lakeview Terrace I did like. At the end of the day, I did like the film. So, with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.